Hi, hello folks, this is Max from RootGalaxyNote.com. So we're going to install CriskeloROM today on our Galaxy Note GT-N7000. Please don't flash it on any other version like AT&T SGH-i717 model. So if you have an unlocked international, European, Asian Galaxy Note, let's go install this. First, you'll want to copy the two ROM files over. It's version 1.3 and update for 1.4. Connect it to your computer, and let's go to your computer. This is what I do while it's actually when I stop the camera, but I'll just leave it on just for this video for fun. So next, you'll want to what you want to do is copy over the two ROM files. Let me go find it really quick. It's this file right here, CriskeloROM Note ICS V1 Beta. Copy it, copy, and then open up another thing here. Go to your Galaxy Note. I have an SD card, or you can go to the internal storage. It doesn't really matter. And go to you can put it anywhere, but I put it in my download folder. That makes it easy for me to find it later. And here you can paste it. I'm not going to paste it because I actually copied it here. And also download the other file, which is called the. I'll have links so you don't have to, you don't have to do this. It'll be the update.CriskeloROM Note. Copy that into your download folder or wherever, somewhere in your SD card or internal storage. So when that is done, you're all ready to go. We're gonna go install actually a new kernel with Clockwork Mod Recovery. The reason why I do this is I found that a lot of the ROMs ship with Clockwork Mod Recovery that's corrupt sometimes. And what happens is you start installing this one ROM and then another ROM, and you end up in this boot loop, and you find out it's corrupt Clockwork Mod Recovery. So you don't end up in one of those situations. I'm gonna, hopefully make you flash a new kernel with Clockwork Mod Recovery FM Note kernel via Odin. So download Odin version 1.85.zip, and if you unzip it, you'll find the two files. This is for Windows only. If you have Linux or Mac, you can use Heimdall. I'll have a universal instruction on how to flash kernels using Heimdall also. Next, let's put our phone into download mode. Hold down the volume down, or take the USB cable out. Volume down, home button, and the power button until it resets into download mode warning screen, upon where you will press the volume up. It's pretty simple actually. So wait, and hit the volume up, and connect your USB cable, and then run the Odin program. Alright, and you'll get this screen. Next, what you want to do is go download the FM Note kernel. I have all these things written down, maybe tomorrow, and I'll have a link to the blog post. You can actually follow step by step if you want. That makes it easier. The reason why I have all these steps is because I personally ended up in boot loop like a bunch of times, and I don't want you to waste your time doing that. So select PDA here, and make sure you have this yellow COM thing. You should if you root it using my instructions. If you don't, you just have to install Samsung keys, unplug, plug your phone back in via micro USB, and you should see the yellow sign. I'll have links to Samsung keys just in case you don't have it also. Next, choose PDA and find the FM Note kernel file, which is going to be FM Note -kernel v2.0.tar. There's also Clockwork Mod Recovery versions of that, but I'll just show you using Odin, just in case your Clockwork Mod Recovery, just went bad, then you can't even flash it. That's why I'm using Odin. So I'm gonna choose that, open, start, and this will actually flash the kernel with the fresh copy of Clockwork Mod Recovery. just so you know. This way. I mean, you don't have to flash this kernel. You can try it if you already have Clockwork Mod Recovery. But if you end up in a boot loop, just make sure try this method, start over, and you should be, you should have the ROM installed. So I'm gonna close that, and then let's go to our phone real quick. And next, while it's booting up, you can take the micro USB cable out. Let me adjust the camera and hold down the volume up center button and the power button, and just hold it down together. Right. And before you do any of this, it would be advisable you make a backup in Clockwork Mod Recovery, which is one of the first steps you should do anyways. I already did so. Alright, so once you're in Clockwork Mod Recovery, and you know what I actually do is I actually make a backup of every ROM I flash. You can do that in backup and storage, and hit backup and say yes. That's about it. Do that right now if you didn't make a backup. Actually, you should have done that before this video. Sorry. So let's go to the next. I'll have in the instructions to make sure you make a backup. So first we're gonna do wipe data factory reset. Everything else is pretty much the same from now on. Just flashing this kernel. Make sure that you have a fresh version of Clockwork Mod Recovery, because that's the number one reason I found in soft bricking your phones, boot loops, and all that crap stuff you don't want to go through. I spent like 2 whole days doing that with like 5-6 different ROMs. Now you know how I feel. So let's do wipe data factory reset. Hit the center button or the power button. I'm going to use my center button. Say yes. And this will format your data, cache, erase all your personal settings, apps, and whatnot. Next we're going to go to install zip from SD card. Hit the center button. Choose zip from SD card, or you can also do... let me go back. You can also choose zip from internal SD card, depending on where you put those 2 files earlier. I put it in my SD card, so choose zip from SD card, hit the center button. I'm gonna go to my download folder where I put my 2 files. Hit the center button, and I'm gonna flash the first file, which is the CriskeloROM Note V1 Beta 3 MD5-.zip. The center button. Say yes. And you can try this without flashing the kernel, but I found that if you're on like a weird there's a weird version of Clockwork Mod Recovery that's floating around, and what happens when you install a ROM, the bar will keep going and going and going, never stop. If that happened to you, you can follow this video and it should get you at least on CriskeloROM. Or you can try this method also to install another ROM that you've been having trouble, which I'm gonna do also. But I'll have an instruction video for every ROM for the Galaxy Note because of those issues. But you should be all good because I'm your guinea pig. But I'm getting a lot of... I ate, you know why it's all yucky? I ate some, I made some quesadillas, and I got very greasy hands now. Even though I clean my hands, gets all over you, all that cheese. So today's my quesadilla day. So that'll complete in a bit. I'll actually leave it through here because this was the hardest time I was having with some of the other ROMs, that I would get stuck or it would just keep going for like hours and hours. I was wondering what is wrong with my phone. And so what? I mean, if you don't have trouble, you don't have to do that Odin part. But just do it without the Odin part first. If it works, great. But if it doesn't, then you should be all good to go. Oh, it's happening again. See that? Oh no, now it's done. No, before it would actually go even past. So there you go. Oh, I almost had a heart attack because this is my 5th time making this same video because I ended up in boot loop. Next, choose zip from SD card, and go back to the folder or internal storage and go find the other file, download, and the other file starts with update CriskeloROM v1 beta 4. Select that, say yes, and this will, update it to version 1.4 from 1.3. Very simple, very quick. Go back, reboot system now. Finally, we have Criskelo's version 1.4 ICS ROM. I'll have a full review of this ICS ROM soon, and that's pretty much it. And you should be all good to go. And I'll have a video of unrooting your Galaxy Note and also Galaxy S2. I've been a little bit behind because there's about 20-30 different files, but I wanted to host it in one site because I don't want you guys go to this XDA, because sometimes those files get deleted off and then I get all these emails, where do you find this? And I'm spending all these, I'm spending like an hour a day trying to find these files. And you know what? If I had my own server, all the files there, then you can find it there, and it will always be there. And if something goes wrong, I just have to fix my server. I don't have to go, go search for it. So it's coming up soon. So you can, unroot your Galaxy S2, Galaxy Note back to stock ROM. I have a domain. It might be called stockroms.net or something. I don't know. I haven't chose. But that should be coming soon. And it's booting. Ooh. Yeah, stockroms.net will be your center home for all kinds of stock ROMs. I'm gonna go buy a server today, a dedicated super fast server. It'll be a free service. You don't have to pay a cent. It'll have all your ROMs there. It's gonna take me like a couple days to set it up and upload. Well, maybe a whole week. But once I set it up, I'll have a full unrooting instructions. Because if I make it before that, then some people might be screwed because they can't find the files. So I'm gonna go find all the files, put it in one place, because there's so many different models of Galaxy Note and Galaxy S2. That's why it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. Unless you have a copy of your stock ROM, then that might be easy. So there you go. This ROM comes with two launchers. The TouchWiz launcher, if you want to keep the TouchWiz features, such as the menu changing thing, or if you don't like it, then just go to Apex ROM, and there's also other launchers. Apex launcher, sorry. There you go. Now you get the ICS vanilla effect there. So I'm gonna choose actually Apex launcher there. And I'll have a full ROM review of this. And the first thing when you install a new ROM, and if you don't get 3G, 4G, usually it's under system settings. I don't know if I have my SIM card inserted. Mobile, no I don't. So that was how to install Criskelo's ROM. Check it out. Looks like a really good ROM. I'll have a full ROM review of this. Thanks you guys, and if you have a Galaxy Note AT&T or the unlocked version, go sign up for my email list at Root Galaxy Note, because we'll update you once or twice a week with ROM of the week, stuff like this, and everything formatted so weekly you get an update. And also we don't share your email with anyone else, it's just for you and me. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe by hitting that button. Hit that like button for me, it'll help me a lot. And if you can share that on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, that would be awesome. And thanks you guys for supporting my channel here. And I'm gonna go get high on Android. Actually, I'm pretty high already. Flashed like 1,000 ROMs.